past exam question, money market and forward market hedging. The question as it is in the exam is written on this slide, and I have highlighted in red the information in the question that is important for you to answer it. So the answer that's given on my learning is written here. And the answer also says that you have to explain the process and not simply the calculations. So I'm not sure what level of detail Melissa expects from you. I'm going to explain the bare minimum you need and then a little bit more. So what is the issue in this question? You are a US bank and you're going to receive Swiss francs in the future. There is no doubt, no uncertainty about that. You know it, yeah? So the uncertainty is not relative to the amount of money you're going to receive. The uncertainty is about the exchange rate. Because you're a US bank, you're not interested in Swiss francs, you want US dollars. So you have two ways to guarantee, at least two ways. There are more, but in this exercise it's only two. You have two ways to guarantee a future exchange rate. One is to enter a forward contract, and the other one is to set up a money market hedge. Let's start with the simpler one, which is to buy US dollars forward. So you buy a forward contract at this rate. So we are at time zero, and at time zero the market says that in 6 months time the exchange rate between the dollar and the Swiss franc will be $0.6578 per Swiss franc. You multiply the 70 million by this exchange rate, and this is what you are going to receive in 6 months. No problem. The money market hedge, the bare minimum of it is that you take the amount of money you know you're going to receive in the future. You calculate the present value of it because you are still at time equals 0, yeah? And if you don't know what a present value is, I suggest that you check the lecture of financial mathematics from last year, week 1. Yeah, you have all the explanation of what present value is. So you calculate the present value of the 70 millions, you convert into US dollars, still at time 0, and you invest at the US interest rate because you have US dollars now, and in 6 months you're going to receive some money. The calculations for that is step 1, present value, yeah, convert into dollars, step 2, and invest, step 3. Okay, fine. Now I've put in blue here what is implicit in the money market hedge. I'm not sure it was explained to you, but I'm going to explain here because it must be kept in mind that, yeah, the 70 million that you're going to calculate the present value of and then convert into dollars are not your own money, yeah. You want to compare two hedges. The forward hedge does not involve any disbursement of money at time 0. So the money market hedge does not involve any disbursement of money. You have to borrow it from the market, yeah. So once you know how much 70 million is in today's prices, you're going to borrow this amount of money, then you convert it into dollar, you invest in the US dollar interest rate. After 6 months, you're going to receive 70 million from somebody else, but you're going to repay your loan. And the difference is what you're going to make out of it, for the hedge, yeah. So let's go step by step. Step 1, you find the present value of the 70 millions. So you go to the data that are given to you, and you see that at time 0, the interest rate for Swiss francs for 6 months is 4.01% annualized, which means that for a 6 months investment or discounting or whatever, you need to divide by 2, which is what we do here. This is the discount factor, 1 over 1 plus 0.002005. It gives you 68.63 million francs. Step 2, go to the data from the question. This is the spot rate at time equals 0, the exchange rate between the Swiss franc and the dollar. You apply it to the 68.63 million Swiss francs you have, and it gives you $44.15 million. Okay. Step 3, you invest the amount, and here the relevant rate is the US interest rate, and it has to be the smaller one. Now, in the previous slide, we have used this one for the interest rate for the Swiss franc, which is the higher one, and for the investment we use the lower one. Of course, if you're a borrower, you pay the high rate. If you're an investor, you pay the low rate. Yeah. So if you take this 7.98% annual divide by 2, gives you 3.99, which you use to calculate the investment you get after 6 months. It's $45.19 million. Yeah. So in fact, this is a future value. Okay. Finally, you compare the two hedges. So now we are 6 months later. Yeah. Your forward contract will give you $46.046 million. Your money market hedge, we have seen, gives you $45.90 million. So if you compare the two, your forward hedge gives you better value. Yeah. There's a note here saying that because you have borrowed money, you have to repay it. Yeah. But you have borrowed an amount of money that you know in the future will be equal to the amount of money you're going to receive from somebody. So in fact, what you repay is what you receive. You receive 70 million, you pay to the bank you borrowed the money from, and that's it. You have no loss, no gain here. Yeah, your only gain will be $45.19 million, which is the amount of money you got from investing at the US interest rate. That's it. This is the bare minimum, with or without the issue of borrowing. You decide whether you have to put it, but this is the bare minimum to answer the question. Now, this is a bit of extra, but to show to you that the forward hedge is not always better than a money market hedge. There's a situation where money market hedge can be better. Now, remember again, I'm insisting on it, is that all these data are given today. Yeah, even the forward rate. This is a rate that the market anticipates, but it may not happen. When you go to the spot foreign exchange rate market in the future, so if you go to the spot foreign exchange rate market 6 months from now, you can have a different situation. You can have a depreciation of the dollar, you can have an appreciation of the dollar, and you can have this. Yeah, maybe the market was right, the exchange rate will be exactly that one, in which case there's no issue. But you can have, for example, this exchange rate. So $1 Swiss franc is 0.6143 dollars, and in this case your 70 million Swiss francs become $43 million. Yeah, so you have an appreciation of the dollar. Suppose you have a depreciation of the dollar, then your Swiss francs become $48 million. Okay, your forward market hedge gave you $46 million. Yeah, so if you have a depreciation of the dollar in the future, you're still good with your forward market hedge. If you have a depreciation of the dollar, well, your forward contract, so your forward market hedge, makes you worse off. Yeah, in the spot market you could have got $48 million and you get only 46 million. Now, how does this compare with the money market hedge? Simple. These interest rates that are valid at time equals 0 are also valid at time equals 180 days, because if you borrow at 4.01% fixed rate now, in 6 months you're going to pay 4.01%. You're not going to pay 4.5%. It's a fixed rate that you have contracted at time zero. So in a sense, the forward hedge is a bit more uncertain than the money market hedge. Yeah, and there are situations where it can give you a better deal. Yeah, so if you have this situation, for example, where you have an appreciation of the dollar, your money market hedge give you $45 million, and you could get 43 million in the spot market 6 months from now. So it's not always the case that the forward market hedge gives you a better deal than the money market hedge. That's it.